Was that obviously then, that was the turning point in your life, was it? Was it correct to say that?
When I met Thomas, my husband, when I was 24, and we got married 26, and then had our daughter when I was 28, I said, all along, I said to Thomas, I didn't want to maintain this career. I wanted to get out of it and start to go back to my original roots of doing something to help people. So when Hannah was born, she and I used to go around. I joined the Stroke Association as a volunteer and used to go to old people's homes with Hannah and people who had had strokes in their homes and talk to them and try and rehabilitate them. And I thought, I'm going to restart my love of that part of me. And then I had Ross and then TJ, so I had 3 children in 4.5 years. And it's an interesting thing for women. I'm not saying intellectually bright, but I'm quite a woman who likes challenges and enjoy interacting with people. I think it was really clear I was missing that, and actually Thomas was missing that part of me, my husband. I think it was obvious, and I think there is a danger. Thomas met me as a sales marketing director of a really go-getter, and I had a nice car and lots of money, and I was jetting around the world at conferences. And then I became a barefoot and pregnant woman, and I think there's a lot he loves about that. But I think I couldn't help becoming that wife that thought, you're 10 minutes late home, and I've been at home with the kids all day, And it's not. I think it's a really big shift in a marriage when that happens. Really huge shift, and I felt it was. I can see now that he probably was mourning the me, and because I became my children's mother.
Well, quite a journey anyway. In 2011, you wrote the manifesto for digital business. What was that about?
Well, I think it's a cause that, and I think what you find in any causes that are created, whether it's on abuse or anything, they usually stem from pain. That I've experienced some pain, I don't want other people to experience it, or if they are experiencing pain, I want them to go somewhere and have someone that cares. And in 2009, I wrote my book, Know Me, Like Me, Follow Me, and that was really to help people to understand the journey of getting known and liked and followed and what it means to business people. And the Minister for Business at the time, Mark Prisk, read the book and asked me to come in and said, look, we know that digital is really important in the way that we support our small businesses around the country. And Chamber of Commerce and the FSB and the CBI and all these amazing institutions that support businesses across the country, they're not supporting them digitally. They're on the street, they're on the ground. But they haven't set up communities online, and he recognised that we'd set up a really powerful community supporting members, and he wanted some of that thought process, and so he introduced me to some think tanks inside government, which is a really big step change for me, because at that time I was stuck. I wasn't Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn, and I wasn't regarded and respected like those machines were that were funded by £2.3 billion worth of investment. But I wasn't the chamber, I wasn't the old institutes that were established. So I was in this little void, and it was a lonely place to be, a very lonely place to be, and I couldn't attach myself to an industry. Do you know what I mean? I was furrowing my own pathway. So to suddenly find myself sitting in think tanks with director generals and things of these was oh God, have I finally arrived somewhere where I can anchor myself? And when I sat in these rooms, with huge respect for all these people, it became really obvious that none of them had a digital agenda for their businesses. They knew amazing knowledge of accounting and marketing and sales and those skills, but none of them felt comfortable with this subject of social and going social. And going social doesn't happen in a marketing department. Going social happens at a leadership level. A bit like saying to you, if you've never been to a pub, how do you know the dynamics of a pub? Going social has to happen at that leader level. And I likened it in this meetings to, I remember in 1983 coming into business, and everywhere was these posters saying customer is king and this lion's head saying customer is king. And as I walked around the departments and I thought, do you like customers? And the people in the warehouse would say, no, the customer's an arsehole. Well, do you like customers? No, the only place customer was king was in the customer service department. And so, because those two people there were hired to be lovely people that cared about the customer. And it's the same now in going social. People say, oh, we've gone social because they've got two people tweeting in a marketing department, but the business hasn't gone social. They haven't decided to really truly engage and build community around them.
What are your thoughts regarding, kids and how they're coming out of school, and how schools and universities, and how prepared or unprepared are they for the real world society?
Well, I can only make a generalistic comment because there are major exceptions, and I've been into some education environments that are just mind-blowing, that it make you cry and think, God, I wish I could go back to my childhood. This is just so incredible now. And particularly the FE sector that I'm in, when I go into some of these colleges, I think this is incredible. If businesses went into these colleges and saw the way they were now, they would want to work together with them. So I make a generalistic comment. If here I want to provide some negative commentary, I suppose, about some things that can be improved. So schools have to, I talked about being open, random and supportive. Children now, sadly or inevitably, expect a different relationship with their teacher. They're online, they can talk to anybody. They can tweet celebrities, they have a conversation going. And we want to say, respect your elders and do as I say, and etc. But children they don't want to live in that world anymore, rightly or wrongly. So unfortunately, the respect between the teacher and the student has broken down. And we hear how hard teachers are finding it to teach crowd control children in classroom. So you have to say, well, where does the fault lie? Does the fault lie with children at home and not being taught respect, or does it lie within the school? Now, I don't know where the fault lies, and I'm not here to point accusing fingers, but unfortunately, the solution has to lie within the educational institutions to adapt, because we can't get to every parent, and we can't change the fact that so many parents are working now and they're exhausted when they get home, and their children are latchkey kids, and that the kids spend too much time on the internet. These are conditions we can't change.
Yeah.
So the only way we can change is for the education environments to start adapting to the way that children now want to be treated. And children at a very young age want to feel empowered themselves to make choices.